Humans are the most rare and dangerous species in the galaxy. Just one can slay 50 men. We've just discovered there's an entire planet of them. The Universal Council was in chaos. For a relatively short amount of time, the encounters with the rarest, known to themselves as humans, have dominated the headlines. These beings, which existed in the absolute fringe of the galaxy known as M801, had become a thorn in the Council's side over several cycles. While not the biggest or strongest species, they made up for it with their brutality, tenacity, hardy build and sheer numbers. Ships lost in that particular part of the galaxy have reported as many as several thousand on a single ship. Several thousand. There are top-tier Universal Council warships that barely have 100 soldiers, of any species. They are also known in studies to be ridiculously immune to most biological threats. Their species not only consumes dihydrogen monoxide, they need it to live. They come from an atmosphere composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen, slowly poisoning those not acclimated to it at a rate so minuscule at first one would not know their own fate until the effects became clear. They can survive impalement, dismemberment, and even the failing of certain vital organs. When injured, they can become even more violent, downing opponents for up to an hour prior to immobilization and/or death. However, despite all this, they are rare. No one on the Council had actually seen one of these beings in person. All information about them relayed from ships that are now classified as lost en route. Rumors exist that humans are sought after by some distant species for a variety of reasons. Thus abductions, smuggling, and piracy are rumored to run with reckless abandon in the sector of M801. M801 has since been derided by many by the adoption of a nickname the Dirtlings had given it some time ago, Milky Way. Which brings me to my point, Lady Mertzatzi announced to the chamber as she glanced around for confirmation amongst the ranks. We have learned from intel provided by our explorers that the humans are not just a pirate species. Council, they have been revealed to have a home planet located just off of a star in Milky Way known as Sol. They have no centralized government, no galactic treaty, no Council-approved ship documentation, and an astounding 7,000 plus languages. We've only had time to translate the most widely spoken, and from the audio logs of the Zvari Cold, lost half a cycle ago, we have translated this. The clip played as they all watched on the display. The shot leveled out to reveal several humans of different pigmentation glaring at the Oculus. To whomever is watching these. Hello. We're going to let you in on a little secret. Humanity doesn't take kindly to your exploitation of our flight space. We also don't appreciate the abductions of many of our loved ones, nor the wanton slaughter of civilians committed by ships with these emblems. The crowd angrily protested as they saw the Universal Council logo revealed on the screen. The shot then snapped back to the group of humans. We want you to understand we don't appreciate your hostility towards us, or our homes. We wish to meet on peaceful terms with your leaders. But if war is what you seek. Mertzatzi herself felt ill at what she knew was next. The human yanked up something into view, and the crowd collectively reeled in horror. In his hand he held the severed head of a Zvari, one of the most feared beings in space. Many in the room froze in fear and trauma at the sight, and several even left the chamber. War is what you'll get. We have a saying where I'm from, don't start none and there won't be none. I hope we've made ourselves clear. Tread with caution. The feed cut off finally as the room sat in utter silence. Readings have measured the population of the humans. Mertzatzi began numbly, to be in the billions, Council. She listened as the room began to panic again. The Council, Leader Drahai announced suddenly, requests a mission to be fulfilled by Lady Mertzatzi. Yes, my liege? Mertzatzi bowed. Prepare an expedition to M801. Drahai commanded, we shall see what these Dirtlings have in store for us. Mertzatzi couldn't believe her luck. While Drahai was completely sure in his demands, and had rallied the Council to agree to the idea of an expedition to the Sol star system, she did not expect him to make her go. But as he reminded her, many of her species would cut off a limb to be in the position to lead a Council-approved mission. But, this felt off. Her mind flashed back to the Zvari on the screen. What led them to do that? Lady Mertzatzi. Her second in command, Axtur. One of the toughest warriors in her unit, he'd accompanied her on countless endeavors up to this point. He was the biggest, scariest person she knew, and for once, that made her feel at ease. Axtur. She greeted, what is your question? Lady, I request a briefing for myself and the others. He snorted. Very well, Mertzatzi sighed, Leader Drahai has commissioned us to venture to M801. The Milky Way sector? Axtur inquired, what for? We're investigating the disappearances of multiple ships of Council members in that area over the past few cycles. It's been confirmed much of it has to do with those humans that live off the edge of Sol. Cursed Dirtlings. Axtur growled, they must learn their place in this universe. Exactly. Mertzatzi nodded, which is why the news that they have a homeworld with billions of inhabitants is a major threat to Council security as well as possibly the fate of the entire universe. They have captured our equipment, and who knows what else. Billions of them, huh? Axtur reconsidered. Yes, I'm afraid so. We have to play this light. I'm afraid we have no clue of their fighting ability. The only evidence we have is video of them eradicating members of the Zvari in an unknown environment. Axtur, please ready the others. We'll launch as soon as available. You heard her grunts, Axton demanded, get to work. ISS mass date on, Sol system, 20XX. Victor awoke to the banging on the door, and groggily slunk out of bed. The nap had helped him readjust to artificial gravity again, but the banging on the door did not help the hangover. Yeah, who's this? Victor yawned as he threw a t-shirt on. Who do you think is it, bruh? Of course it's Eric. Every time Victor touches down, Eric is the absolute first bastard to show up at the door. Eric, hell's the matter with you? It's like 3 in the morning. Morning my A. Eric gestured, we're in space dude. It's not like the sun comes up in the morning and goes down at night out here. Look, bring yourself on, we gotta meet up with Lynx in a bit. We're working now? Victor mentioned. Please Vic, like mercs like us get to sleep. Eric cackled. So how was Texas, man? See the folks and all? Oh, yeah man, Texas was good and all. You know, hugged mom. Went drinking and fishing with my dad. Ate a giant steak. Visited Houston and Corpus Christi. Ate another giant steak. Good times, good times. That's what's up, Eric agreed as he vaped a drag off his hitter. How was Oakland? Vic asked as they passed the storefronts on their way to the transport station. Same deal. See family, friends, hit up a sideshow, don't get shot, get some grass for the flight home. Eric rambled. You just love giving TSA a hard time, huh? Oh yeah. Got to see my lil bro Dozer, he was on leave. The crazy one in the army? Drives mechs and stuff? Vic thought for a moment. Yep, that's gang. Didn't he nearly get kicked out? Something about Carolina? Oh yeah, he got into some galactic incident and ended up breaking the sound barrier and busting out a lot of windows around the Carolina flight path. He still legally is not allowed to land in Charleston. Jesus. Vic thought. Research quarters, ISS Mastodon. About time you two showed up. Lynx frowned as she watched them arrive. She sat the equipment down and ditched the HoloLens she'd worn half the day. Hey Vic. You look terrible right now. Love you too, Lynx. Vic mimicked randomly, can someone tell me why I'm up so early in the morning? Please. Okay, a couple of things we need to talk about. First of all, we need to get some crucial supplies for the ship coming up here at the end of the month. The boosters need retuning on the port side. Maybe patch up some of that damage from that fight with that alien ship. Speaking of which, and pardon my French, what in the F is wrong with you? Who me? Vic realized in confusion. Yeah you. Lynx waved her hands. You cut a guy's head off. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Vic interrupted, first of all, Jorge cut his head off. That's not on me. Yeah, Jorge did that. Eric confirmed grimly as he continued smoking. You shot a effing video of you holding the guy or whatever it was. Its head got cut off, Vic, and you sent their friends the video. The hell is the matter with you? First of all, I didn't cut his head off. Vic reminded her, damn. Okay yes, I held the thing. And I did film that. But to be fair, that was what the clients wanted. Remember? Slaughter them, rescue survivors, and send a message. Remember that? I'm just saying it wasn't cool. Lynx deadpanned. I didn't like it, that's for sure. Vic admitted instinctively. I mean, did you see what they did to those people? No one should look like that. No one. Alive or not. And I've seen someone get Gauss-gunned. Lynx shook off the idea of the photos, that's true. But how do you know if this won't come back on us? It won't, trust me. The hell are they gonna do? Send another ship to come get us? What are they gonna say? Hey Dirtling, my name is Inigo Montoya. Prepare to die. What? Are you done? Lynx asked bitterly. Seriously? We've only done crazier stuff before, how bad could it be? Vic jested. Nearing the Sol Quadrant, madam. Axter announced over comms. Thank you Corporal. This begins now. Mertzatzi confirmed, as they reached the edge of the Kuiper belt.